has no ending. It's in each and every moment. If we open our hearts, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Can you hear the one who is calling, who has called you through the ages, the one who is love? There is no beginning. This love has no ending. It's in each and every moment. If we open our hearts, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu,
Throughout history, there have been those that wish to thwart the evolution of humanity and wish to enslave the human race in a way that is both financial as well as physical and spiritual. Those who enslave humanity throughout history are one and the same in their desires to conquer others, whether it's thousands of years ago in the Middle East or today in America. In the Bible, it talks about those who came to this planet from afar who secretly manipulate humanity. They have been called the Nephilim, the fallen angels, Satan, or the devil. They are still secretly lurking around today, manipulating the minds of the human race, using technologies and media to get people to turn on others, show hatred, to therefore enslave humanity by disconnecting the human race from their true divine nature, and that is love, and a connection to the heavenly realms and God. Therefore we suffer, and our world collapses into chaos, and this leads to enslavement by those who are evil. Throughout history, there have been messengers sent by the heavens in all religions: Moses, Rabbi Jesus, Buddha, and Krishna, all decreed by God to lift humanity upwards towards a higher state of being, and therefore free us from enslavement and free us from the bondage that keeps us suffering. The messengers sent by God are sent to teach us the ways to achieve a life that is more filled with happiness and bliss. And they are sent to teach us how to connect to God in our daily lives, and then only then can we see the mighty force of His power and love to help us free ourselves from enslavement. There is a higher state that one can partake in on earth as well as heaven, and this higher state is achieved by lifting oneself up spiritually to one's true state, and this higher state is not spoken about in mainstream society, which is controlled to keep us focused on the material world only. This is what is bringing the suffering and enslavement to humanity, and thus allows evil to rise up again and again, and we don't receive divine protection that we desire. Our true nature is spiritual. We are spiritual beings only temporarily in our bodies for a short while on this earth. Our true nature is divine, and our true state is a higher path, a path that connects us to this magnificent, blissful, omnipresent force in the universe, a divine force that provides us with what we need on earth as well as in heaven to experience a state of more joy and bliss. This omnipresent, powerful, spiritual force that we are all a part of prior to our journey on earth is called God. God is the spiritual force that we are all a part of prior to entering our state on earth, where most of us have forgotten our true nature. Our true nature is a divine connection upward to God. God is our true Father, our protector, but many have forgotten, and therefore we find ourselves suffering in bondage financially, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And we try to find ways to lift ourselves up without God, and it doesn't quite work out. For the coming times on earth are going to be trying, and people need God in their lives. The messengers such as Moses, Rabbi Jesus, Buddha, and Krishna all were sent to this planet to help all God's children lift themselves upward back to Him in order to save them from the suffering that one goes through on a planet that is for the majority separated from God's presence, and instead is focused on the temptations that are not connecting God's children to Him. All people of earth are God's children, that is Christians, Jews, Buddhists, Hindus, and Muslims. We are all connected as God's children, and we are all one. In order to escape our bondage on earth that will be increasing over the decades to come upon us, we must get back to our true nature, and that is to realize our connection to God, which is similar to a connection we have with our earth parents, but it is much greater because God is our true parent from now until eternity. He loves everyone without judgment and loves all, even those who do evil, as they are only temporarily forgetting their true divine nature. The only way out of our enslavement and bondage is to get back to spiritual practices daily and make sure that one is connecting to God, whether one is focused on prayer, conversations to God, or meditation. and focusing on connecting to God inwardly, as that is the only way we will have the spiritual force and power to rise above the evil that is enslaving humanity. Partaking in spiritual practices, prayer, and even meditation without God focus is not going to rise people upward in a way one so desires. Many of the messages that were left by those who God sent were manipulated over time to separate humans from God. Little by little, they work to take God out of the picture spiritually and in mainstream society. Therefore, we lose our protection and evil rises and we become enslaved.